Hey everyone, I'm Mine, and this is set number 70724, Ninjacopter from the LEGO Ninjago theme. This set originally released in 2014 as a part of the Ninjago Rebooted wave, and contained 516 pieces, 4 minifigures, and originally retailed for $59.99 in the US. This video is of course a part of my Ninjago throwback review series, so let me know in the comments which throwback review you guys want to see next week. But with all that being said, let's get into this video. So here is the Ninjacopter, and this set holds a very, very special place in my heart. Of course, it's a Zane vehicle. It's probably one of the biggest Zane vehicles we've ever gotten, and of course Zane is my favorite ninja. But this set means even more than that to me because this is the set that got me back into LEGO. After Ninjago Season 2 finished airing in 2012, the sets that tie in with it weren't coming out until 2013, and it had been officially announced that Ninjago was cancelled for the time, so I never bought any of the Season 2 sets when they were available, because I just sort of felt betrayed that my favorite theme was going away. And as such, when I stopped collecting Ninjago, I just sort of stopped collecting LEGO as a whole. 2013 was what, 9 years ago, so I was 11 years old. So I thought I was getting to the age where I was like, oh, maybe I'm too old for LEGO. But anyway, long story short, fast forward to 2014, I'm in a Target. I haven't bought a LEGO set in probably 6 to 8 months, but I heard that Ninjago was coming back, so I walked the LEGO section just out of curiosity, and I see this set on the shelf. And I had checked out that Ninjago would come back, but I had no interest in buying any of it. But Target had it on the shelf for only $30. This was probably February 2014, so it had just come out. But yeah, this was a $60 set that they had on the shelf for $30, only 1 month after it came out. Now, as I said, Zane was my favorite ninja, so I was like, you know what, I thought I was done with LEGO, but this is just too good of a deal to pass up, so this will be my last LEGO set I ever get. Zane's my favorite ninja, so getting a giant vehicle for him would be an awesome way to end things off. So I bought the set at that $30 price, brought it home, built it, and then I was hooked on LEGO again. Then the LEGO movie came out and I was fully back in, and now, well, I'm here today. I know that was kind of a long story, but yeah, that's just what this set means to me. It's such a significant set, and if some Target employee had not put this set 50% off, I probably would not have this channel today, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, this is that exact set from all the way back in 2014. I still have it together, I never took it apart, so if anything looks dusty or built wrong, you can blame my 11-year-old self. But with all that being said, let's look at it up a little bit closer. So this set does something interesting where it uses just the regular LEGO blue color. Now that's color that's obviously usually associated with J. Zane tends to use lighter blues if he uses blue at all, so that definitely makes his vehicle stand out because it makes it very different from other Zane vehicles that he's had previously. The giant windscreen piece used here is only used on a few sets, but it is a very cool part with a very sleek shape. There is a little bit of a gap here, which personally has never bothered me, but I know there's a lot of people who do get very annoyed by gaps like that, so that is something to keep in mind if you're considering buying it. There's little stickered parts on the sides with Zane's original logo. It's been redesigned a little bit here to be a bit more detailed, but it is still meant to be the same one from 2011. Of course, you've got this blue crackling ice coming up the sides, and then that windscreen piece can be taken off, and that gives you access into the interior. On the inside, you can see this actually comes off with the windscreen, but you have this little printed console piece with a targeting computer. And then inside, you actually have quite a bit of space. It's rare that a Ninjago set has enough room to hold more than one minifigure, so 2 full seats here is really cool. Obviously, they're for Zane and Pixal. There's a little printed keyboard piece right here, however, that's usually covered up by the printed console piece. But beyond just the 2 seats, there's also quite a few studs at the back where you could fit 1, maybe 2 more minifigures if you wanted to. So yeah, just a ton of room in this vehicle, which I know I absolutely loved playing with. Okay, and I just checked official images. I don't know why I had these blue studs right here. Those aren't correct. Yeah, the seats are just supposed to be like this. But yeah, you can sit Zane and Pixel down in the seats, and there's even room to slide the Techno-Blade in on the side. Then obviously you can close the windscreen back up around them. And yeah, they're actually very comfortable in there. I love how spacious this is. I'd like to see this kind of stuff in more vehicles, because I think that's just absolutely fantastic all around. Moving back out to the sides, you just have this rounded Technic piece right here. And this holds 2 flick missiles on the inside. Flick missiles are not something I miss. They still come in sets every now and then nowadays, but they used to be in every set back in the day, back before stud shooters and spring-loaded shooters were really much of a thing. But yeah, you just push it in the back and they come out. These little wings can also be hinged down if you want, though I think they do look best up. And they're on both sides, and it looks like they pretty much have exactly the same sticker on them, just with a little bit of mirroring. The shaping of the side of this vehicle is really wacky. Maybe it looks a bit flat in a few places, but that's not a huge deal. We'll get back to this in a moment though, because it does tie in with the play feature in the back of the build. I do really like how they do these angles at the top though. The triple engine piece right here looks really cool, and then the ladder up to the spinner crown at the top looks nice as well. And then at the back you have that ladder again, as well as a bunch of exhausts. And then there's a stickered piece right here. That sticker piece corresponds with this area right here, which is meant to represent a jail cell. So I guess that's supposed to be a little panel showing oh, someone's contained in the cell. But this is a very simple feature. You just open up this little ladder piece, place a minifigure inside to be the prisoner, and then of course close it back up around them. And there you go. Now you have the enemy trapped in the vehicle. Simple little thing, but that's just fun to play with. I know I loved playing with that as a kid. So to this day, I'll always appreciate features like this, even if it isn't the most complex or anything. More of that blue cracked ice design on the side looks really good. Same thing on the the other side. And then the tail at the back of the vehicle I think looks fairly nice as well. You got some blue lightsaber blades, I guess that sort of represent energy flowing from like one engine to the other. A few stickers that say SMO5, not sure exactly what that would stand for, so if anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, then like the shaping of the wings at the top and bottom look really good too. There's also these cannons out the side. These of course have spinner crowns on the front. These gray Technic pieces here maybe don't look the best, but they're not a huge deal. And I do like the way they're made rounded from the front to the back, with a little transfer disc at the end. And of course these can be shot out because they're the old like Bionicle cannons. You pull back with this golden tooth piece right here, and there you go. If you've never seen these before, they came in pretty much every set back in the day, but they shoot out pretty hard with a lot of force. I'm not surprised LEGO got rid of them. There's a very similar launcher to this one nowadays, but it's not exactly the same. But yeah, this exact one used to come in like every set when I was a kid. And you get two of them here. This one's exactly the same though. That little lightning bolt sticker's been replaced with a skull and crossbones. And on the other side, it looks like it's been replaced by a warning sign sticker. It also looks like I maybe put that sticker on wrong when I was a kid and had to redo it because that corner's coming up. That's not good. And then the underside of the opposite side just says the word danger. But that's about everything with the set, except for the main play feature. So the main play feature with the set is the transformation. I hadn't pointed it out before, but of course there is this big golden wheel in the center, and that does look very cool. It's like the body of the vehicle, but it's actually able to rotate. And when you spin the wheel in the center, the cannons at the side move and so does the tail at the back. So for example, this is the vehicle in flight mode, but when it has to get into attack mode, it would turn this to be more of a hover. The tail turns on its side, the cannons face out, and this way you can attack like any enemies coming at you. That's a lot of fun, and of course the wheel also spins a full 360 degrees, so there's lots of different angles you can get this at if you want to have like more precise aiming, and I genuinely think that's a lot of fun. There's quite a bit of technique that goes into like making all this rotate consistently, but it also doesn't make the build look ugly. Like some of it is visible, but not too much, and I think that is a very fun play feature, so it's well worth it in my opinion. Yeah, I genuinely think that's a lot of fun and absolutely makes this set. Then one last thing, top it off, you can see there's a little stand for it to stand up on. Looks like this has got a little beat up. Again, this is my exact one from 2014, so it has had some wear over time, but yeah, that just allows it to sit on a shelf very nicely, which I do appreciate. But I think that's about all I have to show you for the main build of the Ninjacopter. So now let's take a look at the side builds, then the minifigures, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts of both this build and the set as a whole. The side build in the set is this little flyer for the Nindroids, and it's very goofy and very simple, but I think it's fun. There's these spinning silver blades on the sides, this little rounded bit at the front that comes down, but you can pull it open, and this is where you would sit a pilot inside, close it back up around them. There's a stickered piece right here, right above these like silver spikes, and then like the tail wing of this little plane actually detaches to become its own little flyer. You can see I already have an Nindroid attached to it, but of course he could be removed. And with him removed, you can see what's going on here. Not all too much. Backside's a little bit more interesting. You have two sides which you can remove and use as weapons if you want. There's like a printed Nindroid blade piece right here, but there's really not much else to it. It's fun to like swoosh the Nindroid around, but it's all around a very simple little build. And then here's the little plane with the tail removed. And I still think it works on its own. It doesn't need it, but definitely looks good when it's there as well. And again, very simple, not much to it. But I think it's fun, it's well done, and I'm happy that it's here. And I think it is pretty cool how the two of them can connect together. Or actually, should this bit be turned upside down? Yeah, actually, I think that's how it's supposed to be. But yeah, no, for a little side build, I'm pretty happy with this. This is very cool. Now moving to the minifigures, here are the first two in this set. We have Battle Damaged Techno Zane and we have Pixal. Now, this Zane minifigure was really, really cool at the time. While like exclusive variants of the Ninja are somewhat common nowadays, this was the first ever one we got. Before this, every Ninja suit was a part of a full line. I guess besides maybe Golden Lloyd. But obviously Golden Lloyd is Golden Lloyd. This was the first time one of the main cast got like an exclusive variant. So as such, it was really exciting. Aside from his presence in Rebooted, the like half mask face is something that like I knew I wanted all the way back in 2012. So finally like getting the robotic face of Zane was super exciting here. But then of course this design is also very important in Rebooted, and while Rebooted's not one of my favorite seasons, I can still respect that like this is a great minifigure for that season. And that torso print is amazing. I love how you can see all of Zane's circuitry, including his heart, which is like overloading. Lots of silver metallic printing going on there, which looks very, very cool. And he's got the one metallic silver arm too, which is a nice touch. Of course, like if any leg printing, just like all the Rebooted suits, which is very lame to me. I've talked about this before, but just like why? Why does he not have any leg printing? He really needs it, so that's very disappointing to see. But other than that, this is a fantastic minifigure. It was cool to get Zane's hair and half mask as well. Zane's hair was not new for LEGO for this wave, but it was new for Ninjago for this wave. And the half masks were all new here, and they do look very cool. Taking his hair and mask off now, you can see his full face, where it's pretty much just the original Zane face, but with the one robot side exposed. And yeah, that's done really, really well. The only thing I don't like about this face is that they just did it better a few years later. Because you can see there's his cap on the side, and while it's cool that he does have like an alternate face around the back, the other version of this face that they did does have it wrap all the way around. So inherently that one's just a little bit better. But of course this one did come first, so I won't take away from it for that. And yeah, taking a look at the back torso print again, he has his original symbol right there. And I love how they carry this metallic printing on the back right here to show that like his sleeve's been ripped off, and that's why his arm's silver. And yeah, more of that just like metallic silver printing. Such a cool minifigure. Definitely not perfect by any means, especially that lack of leg printing, but still probably one of my favorites. And then Pixal is really good too. One of the few Ninjago side characters we had at this point, and obviously Pixal went on to become a very important character in the show, and this was the only minifigure of her we had for years, and I do like her quite a bit. Red, purple, silver, and white is a really cool color combination, and she uses that pretty much all throughout. Obviously she does have a very robotic feel, which is of course intentional, she is a robot. But yeah, the metallic printing looks good, I like the circuitry design, and the colors just really pop, they're very unique. There's not many other LEGO characters who use this color scheme. Face print's a very neutral expression, but fits her pretty well, especially for season 3. And then the alternate side she has an angry face, for when she turned evil, for that very brief moment in season 3. But it's cool to get that, because I feel like that encourages a lot of play for kids, right? She could be either an ally or a villain, it's up to you. And the back torso part's pretty much the same as the front, but it's still pretty well done. But yeah, both these figures are exclusive to this set, and both are ones that are very well done, and ones that I'm very happy to have in my collection. Oh, and I guess she mentioned Zane also comes with the Ice Techno-Blade, which while the handle on Zane's is kind of lame, the actual blade piece is very cool, and it looks really good in the translate blue. And then of course the other two minifigures in the set are the two Nindroids, and they're alright. I've just never been a huge fan of Nindroids in general. Their color scheme very similar to Pixel's, but with the white swapped out for black, and I don't think that color scheme is nearly as good. It still works, like don't get me wrong, purple black is a very iconic color scheme, but that's the thing, there's been so many other villains to use that these guys just sort of fall in line with all of those. And I don't know, just the idea of Robot Ninja, while it might be exciting for some people, it's just not a super fun idea for me. The hood on this guy is really cool, like that is an amazing part, but that's about all I have to say for these guys, and the fact that both of them don't come with a hood, only one of them does, just makes them inherently a little less interesting. Still though, the metallic printing's nice to see, and I appreciate that this guy does have leg printing, even if he's one of the very few figures from all of Rebooted to have any leg printing at all, but then this guy doesn't, so. But yeah, giving a full 360 view of the Nindroid hood, pretty sure it's the same one they use in the Legacy sets today, and like I said, it is a very good part, I will not deny that. But then taking the hood piece off, you can see it's the same exact face print shared between the two of them, metallic printing on the one side of the face, and there's their back torso prints and back head prints. I do appreciate that they printed on the back of the head, and the back torso prints are more the same as the front. Like, I acknowledge these are objectively, like, alright figures, they're not terrible, but to me I just do not find the characters interesting, and the color schemes are not interesting enough for me to, like, ignore the characters. So yeah, they're fine designs, but not much to me. Real quick, I almost forgot to include this little guy in my review, but this set was also the one and only set to come with the Falcon. This piece was not new nor exclusive for this set. I believe it originated from the Lone Ranger theme, and I think this is probably the only set outside of the Lone Ranger theme that it came in, but it was still very cool to see. The Falcon was a very important, like, character in season 1 of Ninjago, but then didn't really appear to the same extent ever again. And I don't even know if he was in Rebooted, but it was still very cool to get him here. And while it's not like new part or anything, this is a good enough representation. So as a Zane fan back in 2014, this made me very happy to get. But overall, what are my thoughts on this set? I mean, if you can't tell, I love this set. As you heard in my story at the beginning, this set has a very, very special place in my heart. So am I a bit biased here? Probably. But I do think there's a pretty significant reason why this was the set that made me come back to LEGO. It's because this is just a really fun set to play with. I love that there was so much room in the cockpit to store figures. Like, I could actually have my characters fly around in this ship. I could put Zane and Pixar in there, or Zane and another character from my collection. And there was proper things for it to fight. You had one flyer that's separated into two, and then you could have that flyer be defeated and then capture the Nindroid. And then the transformation feature was really sleek and really fun, and also very sturdy, like it didn't fall apart. And like, this was the set that convinced me to come back to LEGO, so I think that's the best compliment I can give it. Is it perfect in every little aspect? No, of course not. No LEGO set is. But I love this set with all my heart, and as much as I'm not a fan of Rebooted, this is one of my favorite Ninjago sets of all time. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments below. And also, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, let me know which Ninjago throwback review you guys want to see next week. But as for this video, I think that's about going to do it. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed it, please press like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I do LEGO and Ninjago videos just like this one almost every day, so if you subscribe, you'll be the first to see them. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!